our song. So let's go back to where it began and where it all started from. Take this chance, one last dance, cause I've been waiting way too long. Take my hand, I wanna show you something. Promise I've been dying to see ya. They say the grass ain't always greener. I guess what they're saying is true. In my dreams, that's where I seen her. Take my heart and take all of me, girl. Let me show you what I wanna do. I wanna spend the rest of my life with you. Are you listening, darling? Look where we started. Breaking in half, left us broken hearted. So where do we go from here? Are you listening, darling? Look where we started. Breaking in half, left us broken hearted. So where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Yeah, where do we go from here? Are you listening, darling? Are you listening, darling? Are you listening, darling? Look where we started. Breaking in half, left us broken hearted. So where do we go from here?
Hello and welcome back, everybody, to another live stream. Of course, Wednesday, the 20th of November. And yeah, as always, we will run through the Bitcoin technical analysis. We will take a look at what is currently going on within the markets. And yeah, what I've been doing, what I'm looking for next, of course, and yeah, all of that good stuff. So yeah, if that does sound interesting, please do smash that thumbs up button. Helps me out, helps the channel out, and I can continue to bring this content to you, of course. And yeah, if you are new, please do subscribe and turn that bell notification on. But yeah, enough of that. Let's jump into the charts. Let's take a look at what's been going on, what is currently going on, and what we can kind of look for in any potential trades that we can potentially look to take as well. So yeah, let's jump into it. Let's talk about all that good stuff. So I mean, well, where do we start, right? I mean, we made yet another all-time high again today, which of course is absolutely amazing to see, right? So we now can look at that new all-time high at $94,990. So yeah, I mean, $10 off $95,000. So a big front run of a big psychological level there. In all honesty, but yeah. So I mean, that's what's that's what we've seen today. But let's go back a little bit further. Okay, talk about this bit of pullback here. Because of course, if you were watching a live stream yesterday, I mean, the plan was right that we were looking for a possible short trade from here. So this was kind of the plan. Here we are. So this was kind of the plan that we were looking at yesterday, right? We were looking at a potential short trade to bring this down for a potential long trade to, of course, take this back up to all-time high. Now, yeah, this actually played out, but just not as we, intended it to, and not really in such a way that we could have, traded really, and we will go through that, of course. But yeah, let's go through the trade. So first of all, I did take the short trade, right? I did take the short trade. Unfortunately, it was a little bit, put it in the Discord, a little bit late, just because I was at the gym. My phone decided to update Discord, and it took a few minutes. So unfortunately, we did get a little bit of a later entry. I mean, of course, I got a normal entry, but when I put it in the chat, it was a little later. But we did actually end up going back up to the entry price, and yeah, I mean, you could still have got in at that entry price, which was nice to see. But yeah, I mean, we did see price pull back, and unfortunately, we did front run my take profit. So what I ended up doing this morning, and what I was telling the team this morning was that it's not a bad idea to close the trade at break even, right? Because in all honesty, what I was saying this morning is that we were seeing no signs of weakness here, right? It's actually looking good to go up and make a new all-time high. So yeah, for me, I said take a break even here. It's fine. I don't usually like taking break evens, and I don't usually take break even trades. But here, in all honesty, it's acceptable, right? We front run that take profit that I was looking at, literally by a few $100, in all honesty. If we take a look at the short trade, I was looking towards like $91,200 approximately, and we came down to 91,450. So we front run it by $250 odd, okay, which is a little bit frustrating, but it's fine. Break even trade, not too bothered about that. Now, I mean, this is a controversial trade in itself, right? Many of you may be looking at this and thinking, why are you shorting all-time high? And I just have to highlight the fact that I'm here trading, okay? It's it's a trade, it's not an investment, right? I've got that HODL portfolio, that investment portfolio from much lower, from below that I built up below $35,000. Okay, that of course is that investment portfolio. This of course is not an investment short, an investment sell. This is a very simple trade that I'm looking towards a 1-to-2 risk to reward ratio, right? That's all it was. It's not I'm super bearish, okay? It was just a trade. That's all it was, okay? Looking for a little bit of a 1-to-2, well, in this case, a 1-to-2.6. So it was good risk to reward. I was happy to take the trade, and I look at this trade and I think, I've done nothing wrong, okay? This trade, in my eyes, okay, I told the team this morning as well, this was a successful trade. Okay, I look at this, even though it was a break-even trade, I look at this as a successful trade. And the reason why I look at this as a successful trade is because we saw everything that I wanted to see. Right? We saw absolutely everything that I wanted to see. So first of all, we saw, depending on the time frame you looked at it, right? But we saw that failed auction / swing failure pattern. I think it was a swing failure. What was I was looking at it on the 2 hour, I think, as well. So yeah, swing failure pattern on the 2 hour. But yeah, on the 30-minute, we're looking at this as like a more of a failed auction. Okay, and we were running through this yesterday in the live stream yesterday, of course. And what did we see, right? What did we see? We saw an incredible amount of long trades, right? 25 million here. We saw 42 million at the high. Okay, so there was just, and we can actually take a look at a bit more of an in-depth view of it, right? So if we take a look here, we can see 14 million, 10 million, 12 million, and 27 million. Just a whole load of long trades have opened up at the high here. Like a whole load of long trades have opened up here. Okay, and for me, right, as price started to pull back, and as we, of course, form that failed auction, for me, that's a sign of weakness. Is it a major sign of weakness? We're going to start a bear market? No. Okay, it's a sign of weakness where we could see a bit of a long squeeze. And that's exactly what we did, right? What we did. That's exactly what happened, right? What did we see? Okay, we saw price pulling back, open interest, big decreases, and we saw negative delta building, right? You can see if we take a little bit of an in-depth look, you can see open interest decrease, price decrease, negative delta 10 million. Okay, so we know that these are long trades getting wrecked, long trades closing, whatever it may be. Okay, we saw 2.8 here, we saw 5.2 there, we saw 4.6, we saw 20 million there, 7.9 million there, 4.9 million there, 4.1. So we saw a long squeeze. Okay, this is exactly what I was looking for here. Right, so getting back to it, this trade, in my eyes, was a success because we had everything that I wanted to see in order to enter into the trade, and we saw everything that I wanted to see after entering into a trade, which of course is a long squeeze. Right, unfortunately, we just missed that target that we intended, and of course, unfortunately, that target that we intended as well was actually a level of interest in terms of a possible long trade, right? So I really like this VWAP that we had from this low down here. We've respected it so well, right? And you may look at this and say, oh, well, we've broken below it, okay? But okay, yes, we've broken below it, but we've reclaimed it, sign of strength, nice move away from it. And we've done this several times. So for me, okay, coming down to this, even if we lost it, reclaimed it, for me, that is a sign of strength, and that could have offered a really, really nice potential long trade, right? So again, getting back to it, that was the plan that we had yesterday, looking for a little bit lower. And the only reason I wanted to see a little bit lower, in all honesty, is because there was confluence there for a possible long trade, right? And we didn't take any long trade here. The reason being is because there was no confluence there, right? You can pull, right? You can pull a random fib pull and say, right, we've come into the GP 786. There's a long trade from there. But if you come over to the order flow, and we take a look at where are we? We were here. Okay, we had no sign of strength, in my opinion, here. Okay, we had no sign of strength. There was no sign of absorption here. Okay, it might be easier if we go into a bit of a higher time frame to view it, right? Yeah, in my eyes, there was no sign of absorption down here. Okay, there was no real confluence. Okay, yes, we had that GP 786, but I would never ever take a trade solely off of a fib. Okay, it would have to be naked point of control, a POC, which we had just a little bit below us, a VWAP again, which we had a little bit below us, and then of course, it would be the factor of, right, I need some sort of order flow confluence as well, and that of course would have been the absorption. But again, we didn't even see absorption here. So yeah, for me, there was just no long trade, no, in my term, high probability long trade setup. And I mean, this whole move up has been fueled by new long trades opening up, mainly. Okay, of course, we have seen a little bit of a short squeeze as well, but it's mainly been fueled by long trades opening up. You can see open interest has increased, okay, not dramatically, but it has increased. And you can see here the delta has built over time, which is portrayed by the CBD increasing, right? Because it's the running total of delta, right? So we have seen an increase in positive delta. We've seen a slight increase in open interest. So we know that this move has been mainly fueled by new long trades opening up. Okay, and it's, we can take a look at this move down here, right? The one that we shorted. We can see open interest decreasing. We can see, of course, the CVD, which is again running total of delta, is decreasing. So we know that negative delta is building, right? So this is telling us that long trades are of course getting liquidated, right? So yeah, really, really helpful to understand what is actually moving price now. Now, of course, lots and lots of long trades up here. Okay, lots and lots of long trades have now opened up. We've seen a lot of shorts close. Well, I say I look at this actually as long trades taking profit, because what was this price discovery here? Yeah, I mean up here. Let's see what the POC. Yeah, so the POC is at the high. So this here, right, where we've got 65 million. This, yeah, open interest decreasing, 65 million positive delta. You would look at this and say, okay, this is actually short trades getting wrecked. But because we're at all-time high, because this is actually price discovery, okay, you're looking at this as, okay, long trades are actually taking profit. So people are being a little bit smart here by taking profits off of their long trades. But you can see here 34 million new long trades have opened up, okay, and then you can actually see 32 million long trades got wrecked right there. Okay, so pretty much all of those long trades that opened up there just got wrecked. Okay, they just got wrecked on that move down there, but still seeing not a huge amount of long trades opening up. And I mean, that's kind of a good thing, right? If we want to look for higher prices here, not seeing loads of long trades open up at a high is a positive thing, because exactly like what we saw here, right? Yeah, okay, it was only a little bit of a pullback, right? And we've actually continued higher from there, but this is what we need. We need pullbacks to continue higher. But here, right, what we saw is huge amounts of long trades open up at the high. Right? What did that lead to? That to a pullback, which of course then ultimately led to a rise. But because we're not seeing loads of long trades open up at this high here, tells me that there could be more room for upside, because there's no real strong sign of weakness if we start to pull back, right? Whereas let's say there was like 40 million long trades that have opened up here, and they haven't, of course, got wrecked, right? You can see these 34 million have clearly got wrecked on this move down here. Okay, but let's say they hadn't. Okay, for me, okay, there's maybe a little bit more of a reason for price to pull back. But then I'd argue, right, there's actually not a huge amount of long trades that have opened up here, right? They kind of just, right? There's not a long trade. So for me, this isn't anything that I would really be interested in. All-time high level, I'm always interested in potentially looking for a short there, because I know that they are very, very interesting levels. If you've been watching the channel for a while, you will know that we've shorted all-time high many, many times, and it's been extremely successful. Okay, extremely successful. That's because, right, what have we seen? We've seen FOMO at those highs. Whereas, we just made a new all-time high here, and we're actually not seeing FOMO come in. We've seen it a little bit here, okay, but we've kind of just brushed them on the market quickly, which is nice to see. So, like I said, there is kind of room towards the upside. So yeah, that's kind of what's happened, right? I mean, the plan played out. Okay, it just didn't play out in such a way that we could trade it, right? Initially, what I was kind of looking for yesterday was, of course, like I was saying, a pullback, of course, that we would short, right, for then a long trade to take us up to new all-time highs. That's exactly what we got, but it's just not in a tradable manner, right? We needed to see a little bit lower so we could get that long trade in where the confluence was. Like I said, you could have taken a trade from a fib level there, but if you're taking a trade from every single fib level, it's not going to work out for you in the long run, because if you pull a GP, a golden pocket, right, and a 786, and you just trade that, okay, every single time, I guarantee you, you will lose a hell of a lot more trades than you win. Okay, in trading, you've got to look for the confluences, right? So you can say to yourself, right, there was a GP 786 there. Okay, we came into that area, we bounced off of its perfect support. Great, right? Great, but you're not going to see that the majority of the time. Okay, if there's confluence there, right, there could have been a trade from there, but there wasn't, so we didn't, right? So yeah. I mean, where we're at right now, I mean, if we're going to remain in this bullish, because we're very clearly, it's restrictive, right? So we're very constricted, sorry, but we're in bullish structure here. And I mean, if this continues, right, we can just look for maybe a bit of a pullback here, okay, for a continuation higher. And I mean, that pullback, it would be nice to see it come into an area of support, in all honesty. It would be nice, because I would love to get into a long trade, right, if we're going to remain bullish. Let's just refresh this a bit quickly. So we had we had a naked point of control at all just below all-time high. Didn't trade it because we just smashed straight through it, so it's not a level of interest anymore. I mean, we're halfway through the week, so not really important to look at that at the weekly naked point, the weekly point of control yet. But I mean, I like the VWAPs, right? So we've got the weekly VWAP, a little bit higher than the VWAP that we pulled from here, this low here. So that's a little bit higher. I mean, always I'll pull a GP 786. I like the weekly VWAP with the GP 786. It's just down to, do we get the absorption there? If we do, great. If we don't, then it's not looking like I will be taking a trade from there. But nevertheless, it looks, might be still a little bit too early to tell, but it looks as though we could get absorption. It looks like that we could. It does look like we could get absorption, which would be nice. So looking at that, and if we are going to get absorption in this area here, this would be a level of interest for a potential long trade. So around 92,325. That's kind of, and then it would be a new all-time high that we would be targeting initially. Reason being is because, of course, we're in this bullish market structure. If we're going to pull back and we hold this bullish structure, of course, we get the absorption for the long trade, right? Then where you're looking towards another higher high, right? So I like this. I like this potential plan here. Okay, that's what I would be looking for. In terms of a short trade from here, I'm not interested. I don't see a major sign of weakness. In all honesty, we could continue higher from here. I don't see anything stopping us. So it's just the case of, right, do we just see a bit of a sell-off here? to, of course, get the long trade. That's what I'll be looking for. Not interested in a short trade here. Or do we just continue higher? Maybe we look for a short trade at higher prices, right? It would be nice to see the pullback. See everything aligning, of course, for the potential long trade to take that up to all-time high again. That's kind of what I would be looking for if we did get this pullback. But yeah, I mean, it all comes down to whether we get the absorption. If we don't get the absorption, I'm not interested in it. I'm not interested in short trade. Sorry, in the long trade. Ultimately, this whole move up here, right? This whole constricted bullish structure that we've seen up here has mainly been fueled by absorption, right? You can see very bullish structure here, okay? And you can see negative delta has just been building and building and building and building and building, right? This is what we deem as very bullish, right? Because every pullback is being absorbed by big players. Okay, so this is what I would call very, very bullish. But yeah, I mean, if we want to see it continue, I would like to continue to see this absorption. So on the pullback, I want to see that absorption in that area. If we do get that, okay, and I like the reaction off of that VWAP, then I'm happy to take a long trade off of that level. So we will see, hey, we will see what occurs there. It's just patience, right? It's just patience. Still a little bit frustrated about that short trade because everything was just so perfect. Everything with that trade was just so perfect. The trap traders, the long squeeze, it was all so perfect. It was just like $250, maybe $280 lower. Okay, and that was it. We would have been 80% out of the trade. Well, I would have been 80% out of the trade. Stop loss at entry. Let the rest ride. Okay, it ended up being a break even, so it's like the trade didn't happen. But it's it would have been really nice to see that, in all honesty. And then, of course, the long trade from there to take that up, that would have been an absolutely amazing plan to play out. But yeah, we don't dwell, we move on, and we can see this is what I would be interested in next. So we'll see. We'll remain patient. Let's have a look at the stock. The stock market's pulling back. So, I mean, that in turn should be good, okay, because we can, of course, look for Bitcoin to potentially pull back as well, get into that area, potential long trade. So we'll see. But in all honesty, we haven't really seen the stock market and Bitcoin be correlated recently. They kind of wandered in their own direction, haven't they? They're kind of doing their own thing at this moment in time. I mean, Ethereum is really not doing too great either. Ethereum's really struggling. It is really struggling. Sorry, I didn't bring the chat up. Sorry, I can see Mo and Eric. Good to see you guys back. Good to see you guys back. Sorry, I did not have the chat up. Hi, AJ. Hope you're doing well. I'm good. Good to hear that, Mo. What do you think about shorting now? Could be a good entry. Yeah, no. For me, I'm not interested in a short from here. I don't like it. Right. I know I get a lot of stick for shorting all-time highs, right? I've done it so many times, but it's worked out so well for me. So it's why I do it, right? Because it works out so well. But I know when probabilities aren't in my favor. And this time around, in my eyes, probabilities aren't in my favor for a short trade here. I just don't really like it. Okay, yeah, maybe we see the pullback here. Okay, and it could have been a good short trade, but for me, it's just not It's not what I would deem as a high probability trade setup. It's not got what we, this here. Okay, this was perfect, right? But what we saw up here is far, far, far from perfect when looking for a short trade, right? This was perfect. Lots of long trades at the high. Price began to pull back. Here, right? And sorry, we had lots of long trades opening up on the move up here as well. Here, okay, yeah, we've got a few long trades opening up on the move up. Then we've had long trades open up at the high, but they very quickly got wrecked. And then I'm looking at this and thinking, right, there's not really many long trades to wreck. Okay, so yeah, we could get the pullback from here. Okay, we could see a bit of a long squeeze, but this was better because we saw more long trades. Okay, we saw more long trades. So it's not that it's not a stupid idea to short from up here. It's just not favorable for me. It's not a favored setup that I would like to look for. Eric, good to see you back as well. Carl the Moon and a lot of other YouTubers now opening longs on altcoins. People are too bullish right now. Yeah, I mean, if you take a look at the if we take a look at the fear and greed index as well, yeah, we can see we're in extreme greed at this moment in time. Yesterday we were actually even higher as well. So yeah, I mean, a decently sized pullback it would be nice to see, and even if we were to go higher. But yeah, I know a lot of these big influencers are opening up big long trades up here, and okay, if that works for them, yeah, good for them, right? But yeah, it's just not what I believe works. If I'm opening a big long, I'd rather wait for a bit of a bigger pullback. So I mean, like I said, this one here, I think this is a good longing opportunity. Now, you may when I say, I don't like longing highs and I don't like shorting lows. Okay, it's all in you have to look at it in the right perspective, right? Because okay, right, if we're looking at the 8 hour, I'm long. If I look to take that long trade, I'm longing the high, yes, okay. But then if you go into the lower time frame, it's a bit of perspective, right? I'm actually longing a pullback here, and what am I looking for, right? I'm only looking for this is just roughly. This is not how the trade is going to look, but yeah, risk to reward ratio. I'll be looking for. It depends how it plays out. In all honesty, let's give it a little bit more of a realistic. Yeah, maybe it could be like a 1 to 5, right? Let's say you get the long trade from down here. It could be like a 1 to 5, which is a really good risk to reward ratio. But it's not like I would be looking to take this long trade to 200k, 150. That's not what I'm looking for, that long trade, right? Again, this is my trading account. This is trading, right? I'll be looking for a bit of a move up to all-time high, okay, and then we'll take profit off there, and we'll see where we go from there. So yeah, I mean, big long trades, expecting 120, 150k. It's for me, not the brightest idea. We're seeing a bit of volatility here as well, actually. So let's just see what's currently. Yeah, a bit of volatility here. Nothing major going on in terms of the order flow, in terms of the orders coming in. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we went to all-time high again. Like I said, I don't see any major signs of weakness up here, in all honesty. Exactly like I said this morning to the team as well. I wouldn't be surprised if we made a new all-time high today, because there's no sign of weakness here whatsoever. See, I mean, the stock market was pulling back today, whilst Bitcoin was making a new all-time high. So, it's kind of interesting. Yeah, I mean, the Bitcoin dominance is just increasing. Someone told me to look at the altcoin dominance as well. I don't know what the ticker is for that though. I haven't looked at that in a very, very long time. But yeah, altcoins are, they're not doing too well. And this is where, okay, is there going to be an altcoin season? I would like, it would be nice to get in some trades on the altcoins. I'd rather wait for a bit of a pullback before I look at that, in all honesty. Alt. Yeah, if anyone knows the ticker for the altcoin dominance, put it in the chat, please, because I don't actually know. I can't remember the last time I actually looked at the altcoin dominance. It's not really something I look at. Crypto total. Okay, right. So crypto total market cap excluding top 10. Others.d. Here we go. Let's just save these as well. That'd be nice. So total market cap, and then we've got excluding the top 10. Okay, so yeah, you can see here as well. In terms of the altcoins, right? Not doing too well. But is there an altcoin season to be coming? Potentially. Potentially. I guess it's all down to Bitcoin, right? If Bitcoin wants to continue higher to 100k plus, we could definitely see an altcoin season. But yeah, there's a lot of volatility in here. A lot of volatility. So we're getting this pullback now. Long trades closing out. So I mean, let's see. Let's have a look here. We don't, if we're looking for a long trade, we don't necessarily want to see a quick move down, right? If we're looking for a long trade in this region here, okay, let's bring that up there as well. If we're looking for a long trade here, we don't want to see a quick wick into it and out, okay? That's not what we want to see. We would like to see price slowly coming into this level for then a long trade, right? And we want to see, of course, sells building over time, okay? Because then that gives us an opportunity to, of course, get that absorption, right? Whereas if we just see a quick move into this, we're not we're probably not really going to see absorption, right? Maybe we could bounce off of it, but it doesn't really give us a trade, unfortunately, because I need to see that absorption there. I need to see that sign of strength. If I do not see the sign of strength there, then there's no trade. Okay, there's just no trade for me. It's like here, like I wanted to take a long trade down here. I did want to take a long trade down here, but I had no sign of strength. I mean, you can look at this weekly, right? We bounced off of the weekly. You can pull a GP 786, but yeah, in terms of the order flow, I saw no strength there. If we saw the strength, I would have happily have taken a long trade from there. It would have been really, really nice. But I need to see that order flow confluence as well. Right? All of the trades that I take are order flow based, right? They all have some sort of order flow in, right? Whether it be trap traders, whether it be absorption, whether it be huge liquidations, right? Every single trade I take has a part of order flow analysis in it. Okay, a part of order flow in it that helps me identify whether or identify why I've entered into that trade. So yeah, I mean, there's a bit of volatility here. Price is moving pretty quickly here. But yeah, I mean, it's patience, right? We've got to be patient. Patient. We've got to see what occurs at this level here. We're still looking like we want to go lower. Yeah, what's the region we're looking at? 923. So 92300. Okay. So about at that equilibrium. So that's, I guess you can argue that's a bit of confluence as well with the equilibrium, previous day equilibrium. Yeah, so it's just a matter of, okay, are we going to get absorption at this EQ? It's really hard to tell. Like, you could sit here for hours and just question with yourself, are we going to get absorption? Are we not? But you can't really. Sometimes it's easy to tell, but you can't really predict it. If it's not obvious, then you can't predict it. Again, you can't ever predict anything in these markets. It's all probabilities, right? And you can't even build probabilities on this where it is now. I think it's a little bit too hard to tell. Sometimes it's very, very obvious that we're getting absorption, like blatantly obvious. And that's when you can say with almost 95% certainty that we are going to get absorption. But, this time around, it's a little bit harder to tell. So, yeah, I think it's just patience, right? We'll see, right? This is the area of interest, okay? I don't want to blab on for too much longer, but yeah, that's the area of interest, okay? Let's see what happens at that level. Do we get the absorption? If we get the absorption, great, okay? We can look for that long trade. Of course, we don't want to just take a long trade, right? We want to look for the absorption. We want to see what happens at that VWAP, right? Do we get a nice little do we hold that? Because if we're just going to break through it, then there's no point of taking a trade, even if we do get the absorption, right? There's no point of taking the trade. Bigger, swifter move down here. yeah, we want to see if price is going to sort of like halt here, right? Stall, right? If it gets stalled, okay, we know that this is a good level, right? Then we want to see a bit of a move away from the level, and for me, that would be a nice long trade, right? And we can of course look to take that back up to all-time high again and continue, of course, this bullish structure that we are in. So I think that's a good trade. We just need to see everything aligning. Again, if we don't see everything aligning, yeah, okay, price can still do that, but it's not really a tradable move, in my opinion. I want to see the confluence. If we don't get the absorption, there's like a high chance as well that we could actually just move lower. So yeah, it will be handy to see, of course, that absorption, right? But yeah, I will leave that there. Again, I don't want to blab on for too long because yeah, this is kind of the only thing that I'm looking at this moment in time. So it's just patience up until that point. And yeah, we want to see the absorption. We want to see price kind of hold this area here, and then that's a possible long trade if it all looks good. So yeah, I will leave that there. Thank you ever so much for watching, everybody. Good to see familiar faces back. Mo, good to see you back. My friend Eric, good to see you back as well. So yeah, any visionary members, I will see you in the Discord. If I take the trade, as always, I'll post it in the Discord as I always do. Of course, if you want access to that, first link in the description, and yeah, you can get access to that. We're seeing a lot of long trades closing out here, 12 million. But yeah, of course, normal live stream tomorrow as well. So that will be, of course, Thursday. So yeah, any non-visionary members, hopefully I will see you tomorrow. If you haven't already, please do smash that thumbs up button. And yeah, I will see you whenever I see you. So take care and see you later. Goodbye.
Take me home, cause I wanna feel like I belong. They relate to all this pain in my past, so they listen to my song. So let's go